Equidox PDF Accessibility.
My name is Dan Toletta, Sales Engineer for Equidox PDF Accessibility Solutions, and this is a demonstration of our Equidox PDF Remediation software.
Dan accesses Equidox through his internet browser.
Equidox makes PDF remediation up to 90% faster and easier using AI-powered smart detection tools to make your documents accessible, usable, and ADA compliant. Let's get started. When importing documents, the user has two options. PDFs can be uploaded from the hard drive or imported directly from the URL.
Under the Import Documents section are two tabs labeled Upload and URLs.
The ability to import from URLs is especially helpful if a website accessibility scan or audit has located various PDFs scattered across the website. Those URLs can be quickly copied and pasted, which eliminates the need to individually search for and download all of the inaccessible PDFs. In this instance, I'm going to upload a file from my hard drive by dragging and dropping into this gray area. When the document finishes uploading, the blue import button will appear.
A progress bar indicates percentage of analysis completed.
While the document is importing, Equidox analyzes the source file to help us in our remediation workflow. If there is existing tag structure, Equidox will import those existing tags. If there is no existing tag structure, Equidox will automatically detect text, links, and image elements in the document to give us a head start on the remediation. Equidox will also check for form fields, pages requiring optical character recognition, commonly referred to as OCR, and metadata that is embedded in the source document.
A red arrow indicates text under the progress bar that reads, "One import message, no contents on page 1, sending to OCR."
When we return to the main document list, the file we just imported appears at the very top and is ready to be worked on at any time. When I select a page to work on in Equidox, the first thing I notice is the large yellow reading zone that is covering all of the content on the page. Because this document was previously tagged, this reading zone indicates that the entire page was grouped together as one single P tag, which is very difficult for an end user to work with. To help the remediator better understand the structure that they are building, we have a preview button that opens in a separate tab, an HTML rendering of the page that you are currently working on. When I open the preview for this page, I can see that all of the content, including the text, headings, and the list, are grouped together as a single paragraph, which is unacceptable. If I return to the document editor, I will navigate to the Page tab on the left-hand side. On the Page tab is one of the most important features in Equidox, and this is the Zone Detection slider. If I move this slider back and forth, I am indicating that I do not want to rely on the existing tag structure, and I would prefer Equidox to redetect the structure of the page automatically.
Sliding the sensitivity slider down results in each heading and paragraph individually highlighted.
This will reset my reading zones with a layout that is much more consistent with the design of the page. And if I return to the HTML preview, I will see that I now have individual paragraphs instead of the single large cluster that I previously had. The next step for this page is to adjust the zones that do not classify as the default text zone. I have headings and a small list that need to be identified. First, I will select the zone that contains my heading level 1. I can set this to a heading through the drop-down menu or by using my keyboard shortcut. By pressing the 1 key, I have changed it from a text zone to a heading level 1, and I will apply the same shortcut to these other zones that contain my heading level 2s. By pressing the 2 key, I have now identified them as heading level 2. When I return to my HTML preview, I will see that the font size has increased to help confirm that my headings have been identified for this page. If a document is consistently formatted and designed, a heading template can be set with this checkbox to automate the process of setting the headings throughout the entire document. The last remaining element on this page that requires my attention is this list. In order to properly tag this list, I can change the zone to a list through the drop-down menu, or again by using my keyboard shortcut. Hitting the L key will change the zone to a list and present me with another slider tool that is used for automatic list detection. If I move this slider from left to right, the list items will be instantly detected by Equidox, which can be seen by these grid lines. When I return to the HTML preview, I will see that instead of a single paragraph grouping together the list items, I now have a single list that contains 6 individual items.
A document shows a nested list, which is a list which contains another list.
Nested lists typically take a lot of additional effort to remediate compared to standard lists, but luckily, we have Equidox and our artificially intelligence-powered list detector to make this fast and easy. My first step is to change the zone from a text zone to a list by hitting L on my keyboard. Then I can move my list detection slider from left to right to trigger the artificial intelligence to analyze the zone and locate the list nested inside of the main list items. When I check the HTML preview, I can confirm that I have created a nested list in just a couple of seconds. The same process can be applied to larger and more complex nested lists thanks to the power of artificial intelligence.
He demonstrates using a long list of baseball team names.
Another critical element in PDF documents that can be notoriously difficult and time-consuming to remediate are tables. Equidox has a drastically improved way of generating table tags, which can save remediators countless hours of struggling with complex table tag trees. To begin, I will click and draw a zone covering the entire table. I can then change the zone to a table through the drop-down menu or by using my keyboard shortcuts and pressing the T key. Once the zone has been changed to a table, I can then press the blue Table Editor button, which will isolate the table and present me with additional table editing features. For simple tables such as this, I can use my AI-powered smart table detection sliders to instantly identify rows and columns. All that's left to do now is a quick check of the HTML preview, which will show a perfect HTML table. For more complex tables, the process is very similar, but may require a couple of additional but simple steps. For example, this table contains 2 levels of column headers, and the top row also requires spanning to join the 4 corresponding columns to create a single cell. I will use my AI-powered detection sliders to instantly create my rows and columns.
A slider allows him to indicate the number of rows and columns.
My next step is to change my column header from the default 1 to 2 to indicate that there are 2 rows of column headers. Lastly, I will complete the span by clicking in this cell, holding Shift on my keyboard, and clicking in this cell. I can then press the span button, or S, on my keyboard. When I check the HTML preview, I will see a perfect table. Once I am finished with the remediation, the final step is to export the document. From the document detail page, I will navigate to the Output tab. I have 3 options for export formats: HTML, EPUB, and most popular PDF. When I click Generate PDF, Equidox will compile a new PDF document for me, which will be automatically tagged based on the reading zones I have structured during my remediation process. If there are errors in the document, such as illogical heading structure or an image without alt text, Equidox will give me a warning message and a link to the page where the error has been located so that I can correct the mistake and re-export the document. Since there are no errors in my zone structure, no warning messages will appear, and I now have generated an accessible and compliant PDF document using Equidox. These are some of the most time-saving AI-powered features of Equidox PDF remediation software. We also offer expert PDF remediation services. Our team uses Equidox software and a rigorous validation process to remediate your PDFs and ensure that they are accessible and usable. For more information about our services, or to request a full demonstration of our best-in-class software, contact us at equidoxsales@onyxnet.com.
800-664-9638. Equidox, PDF Accessibility Solutions.